Officer David Ortiz are finished for the day. His body now in its final resting place.
Tonight, a show of support from loved ones and complete strangers, all grateful for everything Officer Ortiz did for El Paso during his 9 years as a police officer. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight on ABC 7 at 6. I'm Estela Casas.
And I'm Rick Cabrera. Officer David Ortiz was in the hospital for 4 days after he was hit by a car. He died this past Monday. Police say Officer Ortiz was stopped at a red light and rear-ended by a car at Lee Trevino and Vista del Sol.
Police say the impact of the car hitting Ortiz sent him into another car. As we heard from witnesses, so many people got out in their cars and did what they could to help the officer.
Today, even more people came out to show the 9-year veteran of the El Paso Police Force that he won't be forgotten. Officer Ortiz was laid to rest this afternoon, exactly a year after another officer was killed in a similar crash. ABC 7's Darren Hunt is live at Mount Carmel Cemetery with our top story.
Rick and Estela, Ortiz was a 9-year El Paso police veteran who also served on the police forces in Horizon and Socorro. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children who received overwhelming support today from their brothers and sisters in blue. A woman without a husband and 2 children without a father today.
It is a terrible thing to see that happening in our community. We hope that it doesn't happen again, but we know that in faith we will pull together, and we need to just pray for this family.
A year to the day after Officer Adrian Arellano was killed, Officer David Ortiz was memorialized by Father Fabian Marquez.
Unfortunately, this is not my first funeral for one of our men in uniform, so it is a sad thing for El Paso and also for our guys.
How is his family?
They seem to be well, all things considered, but they're very faithful people, so that has pulled them through.
After the funeral service, Ortiz's body was taken to Mount Carmel Cemetery for burial, where doves were released as part of the graveside service.
You always knew David was in the house. He was such a life spirit, so loving and cheerful all the time.
Claudia Herrera grew up with Ortiz.
We're really going to miss him, and our prayers go out to his wife, his kids, and all his family.
Even though we're not police officers yet, we still feel the same pain, you know?
Ricardo Felice, a member of the Law Enforcement Explorers, hopes to be a police officer someday.
The reason that I joined is that no other family has to go through this. I don't want any son or any wife to have to lose a husband or a wife due to someone else. So I want to prevent other people from having to go through funerals.
Now, Ortiz's gravesite is just behind me here. The crowds today for Ortiz's funeral were simply massive. One officer calling it the largest crowd he's ever seen for an El Paso police officer's funeral. More than a dozen law enforcement agencies were represented, including motorcycle officers who traveled all the way from Houston. Rick and Estelle.
Okay, Darren, thank you very much. A lot of heavy hearts today. If you take